one was analog voice. Now second generation is digital voice. The first generation of mobile phone was analog and the second generation was digital. So they are using four system of second generation. What they are using for for second generation, they are using four system, that is DAMPS, that is digital advanced mobile phone system, PDC, that is personal, that PDC, and third one is CDMA, and fourth one is GSM. So first one is AMPS. So DAMPS was carefully designed to coexist with AMPS so that both the first and second generation can communicate with each other. So they are basically using the features of AMPS, but they put the digitally data on it was because AMPS using an analog voice system. So that's why they put some digital data on it. Mobile phones could operate simultaneously in the same cell. So the if they are using mobile phones, the data which is or data or frequency ranges was in the same cell, because they are using a cell that is a diagram on it, and there is some small cells. So DMPS uses the same channels because they are using digitally data, so they are using the same channels which are used by AMPS. But basically AMPS uses that channels or that cells, so DMPS also uses that type of cells. So though they are using same cells which are used by M cells, so that one channel can be analog and the adjacent one can be digital in one cell. So what I'm saying, that the cells, that's basically cell has convert as or uses the DMPS and AMPS also. So they are using same channel, so that the one channel can be analog and the other channel will be digital. So in one cell the other channel must be analog and other one channel will be digital. So and one data will be analog and second one will be digital. So voice must be analog voice and our second voice will be digital voice. Now second one is PDC, that is used only in Japan. In basically DMPS modified for completely with the first generation Japanese analog system. So PDC is only used by the Japan because they are modified some features on DMPS, the digital advanced mobile phone system. They checking the compatibility with the first generation of analog system. So they invented PDC. Now third one is code division multiple access, that is CDMA. Now DMPS and GSM use FDMA. What is the full form of FDMA? That is frequency division multiple access. And TDMA, that is the full form is time division multiple access. Now DMPS and GMs uses frequency division multiplex access and time division multiplex access. But while CDM is completely different. Why it's different? Because FDM and TDMA was uses by DMPS and GSM, but CDM is completely different. Instead of dividing the allowed frequency range into few hundred narrow channels, because it allowed a frequency channels to divide the ranges into some narrow channels or 100 narrow channels. It provides large numbers of narrow channels. So CDMA allow or each station to transmit over the entire frequency spectrum all the time. So CDMA provide that and allow the can give the permission to station to transmit over the entire frequency spectrum, that all the time the frequency can be transmitted through the all the time depth of the channel. Okay. The multiple simultaneous transmitting are separating using coding theory. So we are code division multiple access using. So the data will must be converted into coded language, so that the multiple simultaneous transmission are separated using coding theory. Now CDMA also relax the assumption that the coding frequencies are totally grabbed. So CDMA, what CDMA is actually doing, CDMA is must be relaxed that his assumption that coding framings are totally grabbed. So coding language will coded data can convert that the languages or that voice or the transmission channel into a coded language. So that he must be relaxed that the data will must be stored securely. Now third generation is digital voice and data. So they are using digital voice and plus data. Now digital voice and data like internet access and other video and multiple application. Basically in two generations. We are discussing about the analog and digital voice. Now in here we are discussing about digital voice and data. So third generation will provide us digital voice also and internet access like also. Now features are invented, days are increasing, so the needed are increasing, so that's why they improve the quantity on it, so they improve the quality on it. So the internet access is most needed now. Without internet we can't live the life of our human body or human nature. So without of internet we can't live. Well, WhatsApp, Facebook, mailing, Gmail, YouTube, some all the apps are we are using now. We are using with with what type of you are using. We have to use internet access to join the network or to have the permission. So third generation invented internet access also and digital voice also. So GSM phone, now in third generation GSM phones and GSM sims are invented like in we are using a digital voice for communication and internet access for the communication also, and for further uses also. And he is providing us a video and multimedia application, so that's why using of internet access we can send videos and multimedia messages or some pictures now. So that's why in year mobile system 1981 it invented Nordic mobile telephone system, that is 450. Now in 1981 American mobile phone system is invented. The full form short form of is AMPS. Now in 1985 total access communication system, that is TAX. Now in 1986 Nordic mobile telephone system, that is NMT 900. Now 1991 American Digital Cellular ADC. 1991 Global System for Mobile Communication, that is GSM. Now 1992 Digital Cellular System DCS is a 1800. Now 1994 Public Digital Cellular System is PDC, that is Personal Digital Cellular. Now 1995 is PCS 1900 Canada. Now 1996 PCS United States. That the list of the mobile phone system which is invented in third generation. Now in the beginning of cellular system, each country developed its own system in the beginning of solar system, because the GSM uses a architecture. So in basically there is some cells, so each country, all the countries have invented their phone system. So that's why each country has developed its own system, so which can be undesirable situation for the following reason: because the equipment was limited to operate only within the boundaries each country. The use GSM uses some equipment that is limited for some countries or some boundaries of the countries. The market for each mobile telephones equipment was installed. All the market, all one can invented some features on it, some telephonic features on it, some uh, functions also. So that's why market for each mobile equipment was limited. So some equipments were for limited for it. In order to overcome this problem, CPT formed GSM in 1982. So that's some problems are here. So that's why to overcome is to do that's problem, to solve this problem. So CPT had formed the GSM, that is Global System Mobile Communication, in 1982. The features of GSM is good subject to speech quality. It provides us the speech quality is better, low terminal and service cost. The terminal cost is low. Cost also, we have a provider low cost. So support for international roaming. So due to GSM we are have in generation third generation, it provides us international roaming. So that's why the other one will be outside of India or outside of country, so they can communicate with each other. So they can easily communicate with each other due to this of GSM. Now ability to support handle terminals, it provides us ability that the terminals we are using short channels or short terminal system, so that's why it provides us the handheld terminal property. So support for range of new services and facility. It provides some new features on its new facilities for the in GSM. So that's why the users can happily or satisfy about the GSM services. So that's the most the things are easy for it, or for most the things are needed for the person. So that's why it can added some new features and facility that is useful for the user. Now, spectral efficiency, the data will be in a spectral form or in a coded language. So that's for the provided low frequency. Now, ISDN community, that is International Standard Digital Network, that is providing us a compatibility with the um, third generations also. Now, fourth generation is GSM Global System for Mobile Communication. Now, it's invented GSM for the mobile communication. In three generation, it's invented GSM only a telephone system. Now, it is using mobile. In fourth generation for mobile communication, GSM is globally accepted standard for digital cellular system. It is established in 1982. In which year is established? In 1982, to create a common Europe mobile system, that is which provide a full text flex data traffic to any device fitted with GSM capability such as phone, fax or pager at the rate of 9600 bps using the TDMA and communication scheme. GSM is basically established in 1982. Why it is established? To create a common Europe mobile telephone system, which provide us full duplex data traffic to any device fitted with the GSM capability. That it checking the capability with the GSM, so that the data traffic will not be congested, or it provides us a full duplex that the data must be traveled easily and the communication will be possible easily. Such as phone, and it's invented like a system, telephone system like a phone, fax or a pager, and with the rate of the frequency rate is 9600 bps. Now it is using with the TDMA, that is time division multiple access for the communication. Now since GSM is purely digital, as you know, GSM is global system mobile system and using is digital data, so that's why it is a purely digital. It can easily interface with other it can easily interface with other digital communication system such as oh, such as ISDN. It's using as a ISDN, international standard data network and digital services. So since GSM is purely digital, so it can easily interface with other digital communication system. So it can easily communicate with other digital systems such as ISDN and digital device, unlike any other services. GSM products such as cellular phones requires the user of subscriber identity module or SIM card. Now we are using GSM phones, that the cellular phones. Now that it is require a subscriber identity, that is a user identity, that is identity module. So basically GSM provide us an identity module number or a SIM card, which is we place on the GSM SIM, and the SIM card will allow us a new permanently number that is authorized for the user. Now, this small electronic device are approximately the size of credit card. The small case electronic device like a SIM card is like a small device like a credit card and record all over the user information. The SIM card that have a identity module number that can convert the information that record that maintain the data of the user's information and must be taken as a private or a personal data. Now this include data such as program telephone numbers and network security feature which identify the user. Now seeing what SIM actually doing, it's include that data such as program telephone numbers, like it using the program telephone numbers on it, and the network security features like the user have to store the information which must be private or secure data. So that's why it provides a SIM as a telephone number or alphanumeric number, and that's why it stores the data which is must be essential or pure or must be secure data. Without this module, the device will not function. Without using a SIM, the GSM phone will not be work, because we have to access data, access internet access or some features. So that's why we have to use GSM SIM. So basically SIM is most important for the GSM phone system. So some of the milestones of the communication through GSMs are then shown. Year milestone 1982 GSM was formed. In 1986 it field tested. In 1987 TDM chose as a access method, because TDM is a time division multiplexes, it uses for the access method. Now 1988 a memorandum of understanding signed. So memorandum of understanding signed. So in 1989 validation of GSM system. 1999 pre-operating system they are invented. In 1991 they are using communication system startup. In 1992 coverage of larger cities airports. In 1993 coverage of main roads, and 1995 coverage of rural areas. So we are discussing all over about the GSM. That's the Here is discussing about the GSM, all the three and four generations. Now, basically, I will discuss about some advantages of GSM. That is the advantage of GSM. Due to the requirement setup for GSM system, many advantage will be achieved. So, what maximum and advantage we are getting from the GSM? GSM uses radio frequency efficiently, and due to digital radio path, the frequency tolerates more intercell disturbance. Because GSM uses radio frequencies, now they are using digital radio paths and cells, so that's why the system tolerate more intercell distances, because the analog and digitals are both communicating in the same cells. So average quality of speech achieved is better than in analog cellular system, because in analog they are using a talk to system or push to talk system. So now we are communicate with each other easily, so that's why they are providing us a quality of speech is better as compared to first generation. Now, data transmission is supported throughout the GSM system. The data must be transmitted throughout the GSM system, and data must be transmitted easily. Speech is encrypted and subscriber information securely is granted. So now we are communicating with each other. So the communication will be converted into code language. So third unauthorized user or third party will not understand what actually we are communicating, what actually we are saying. So that's why the subscriber information, that is a user information, GSM can convert it into a coded language, and the data must be, or our information must be secure, and its guarantee will be taken by the GSM. Due to the ISDN capability, that is international standard data network, can checking the capability with the new services are offered compared to the analog system. Analog system was basically from first generation. Now it's taking new services and checking our ISDN compatibility. International roaming is technically possible within all countries using the GSM network. Now we are communicating with each other, and we are communicate from the far apart person from the cities or the countries. So that's why it's possible. Why this is possible? Because GSM invented international roaming service. So that's why they are using international roaming service for communicating with each other. So this is useful for us. That's the roaming services are invented, and we can communicate a far apart user which is communicate with each other, or our close one we can communicate with through it. The vast market increases competition and lower the price both for the investment users. So that's why all one are using GSMs, all over the world are using GSM. Now they are using GSM SIMs, so that's why market continuously increasing. They are doing a competition with that phones or systems. Now their prices must be lower for both the investment and users. So that's why GSM is most needed. So that's why they lower the price for the system, and investment and the uses are must be more. So I think you can understand what I'm actually telling about the GSM as I hope. So thank you. I finished here.